Oh man, this live chat was being dumb. Hopefully, y'all could hear me now. Let's set this up. Nobody's in the chat yet, so I don't get caught looking too amateur right now. Let's set this up. Little itty bitty tripod. Little itty bitty tripod. All right. So this is going to be the first time I'm going live without my little microphones that I'm holding. Hopefully everything sounds okay. Welcome everybody to this live stream. We're going to get things kicking off very shortly. I am medicating up pretty wildly because I've been having a cough or whatever. But we're going to get into all kinds of news, updates for the channel, that kind of stuff. Let me get a drink of water. Oh, yeah. Check this out. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Oh, I'm gonna get dizzy. I get dizzy very, very quickly. I can't get on a roller coaster or anything. Like, I can, but I'll get off and I'll just, like, be very, very sick. I hate it. And some people say, oh, it's because you're scared of getting on roller coasters. No, I'm scared of the headaches and the nausea that I get afterwards. So anyways, as I like to start off most of my live streams, I like to start it off with this day in history. And today, ladies and gentlemen, is November 22nd. So let's see here. November 22nd, what happened on this day in history? Well, let's see. Hopefully you guys can hear me good. Let me check the chat just to make sure it's like I'm able to see it. Okay, there we go. November 22nd, what happened? Anything cool? 1718. The pirate Blackbeard is killed. Edward Teach had operated in the Caribbean for years. He was killed in a fierce battle off the coast of North Carolina by the British Navy. Okay. Oh, John F. Kennedy was assassinated today. Forgot all about that. In Dallas, Texas, while riding in a presidential motorcade through Dealey Plaza in an open-top limousine, Kennedy was shot in the back of the head by Lee Harvey Oswald. I don't know. That's what they say. You never know. He was in a Texas book depository, struck Kennedy and Texas Governor John Connally. The motorcade rushed to the hospital where Kennedy was pronounced dead. Oswald was arrested by Dallas police less than 2 hours after the shooting. Lyndon Johnson was sworn in as the 36th president later that same day. Oswald was shot and killed 2 days later by Jack Ruby as he was escorted from the Dallas jail to a waiting car. Ruby died in prison in 1967. The Warren Commission investigated the assassination and found that Oswald had acted alone in killing Kennedy, and Ruby had acted alone in shooting Oswald. The assassination sparked numerous conspiracy theories that implicated multiple additional shooters. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Anything else important that happened? This is weird, okay? This is absolutely weird. I've been watching the Menendez brothers show called Monsters, and you know how they're murderers and blah blah blah. And I was thinking about the time when all that happened, when they were doing that stuff. And I'm like, okay, that was like in 1992, 93. They were in court in 94, I think. And I was thinking, that was around the same time that Toy Story was hitting theaters in 95. And lo and behold, Toy Story was released on this day in 1995. It was the first feature-length film that only that only used computer-generated images. The film was a major hit, grossing $373 million worldwide, winning 3 Academy Awards, and spawning multiple sequels. So that is what happened on this day in history. And now let's get into what happened this past week for me. I did yard work. Very exciting stuff. I don't know if the mic is picking up very well with this phone. It's kind of crap. I'm going to grab... Where is that stuff at? Oh, I can't find it. Getting sloppy. Where are we? I don't know. I can't find it. This is a live stream. Whatever. We'll do it live. Anyways, this is going to help out my cough. I'm going to have a Coca-Cola Oreo. Let's crack this baby open. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is my third one that I've drank this week. That's nuts. That's the most soda I've drank in a week in a very long time. I mean, I review a lot of soda, don't get me wrong, look at all this, but I'm not that big of a soda drinker, surprisingly enough. That still hits so good. It's Coca-Cola with vanilla chocolate. So good. So I was doing yard work, right? And usually here in the Midwest around this time, we're in November, the leaves fall out of the tree, and you got to rake them all up. Now, usually I'm a bit trashy, all right? I'll admit that. I learned this the first couple years that I've owned a house and I've had to take care of the property. But when leaves fall from the tree in the fall, surprisingly enough, you want to get on it right away and rake up the leaves and get rid of them, right? So I did that the first couple of years. Like, okay, mid-October, oh, there's leaves on the grass. I need to rake this up. Rake it all up. I'm very proud of myself, right? I got a big pile of leaves up front. Everything's cool. Okay. Forget to realize that there are more leaves that are bound to fall still in the trees because it's only mid-October. And so, come around this time, late November, it's when all the leaves are off the trees, and you got a yard full of leaves again. So, what's the point of raking up leaves in October if you're just going to have to rake them back all up in November? Excuse me, that's what I asked myself. You're doing double work. Now, unless you're like a Hank Hill kind of guy, and you really take pride in making sure your lawn looks pristine, and like you could, golf on it and putt on it. What new Lay's flavors I got? I have no new Lay's flavors at the moment. Yeah, I think all of the Chinese stuff that I got, smashing that like. Thank you, Elvis. Been to Graceland once. I want to revisit very soon. But yeah, all the Chinese stuff that I got that I need to review, it's just a lot of candy, not too much chips. So I raked up my leaves. Well, I didn't rake up my leaves this time. I lied. I tried. I did the whole thing. I don't know if you guys know the fun, exciting world of raking leaves. But usually I'm pretty old school. I'm not going to invest in a $300 leaf blower. And thank you, Joe Gessner. Smashing that like button, boy. Even though the audio is just getting picked up from my phone, I appreciate it. Usually I take more pride in the audio quality, but I don't feel like holding up that little thing the entire time. I want my hands. I want to be able to do this. So usually I would just spend a Sunday putting out the tarp, raking the leaves onto the tarp, then drag the tarp to the end of the street, throw it up, all the leaves get in a nice little pile, all right? So the city comes by, I don't know, it's like every 2 weeks, and they have this big truck with this hose, and it sucks up all the leaves. As long as you put it at the curb of your lawn, they'll do that. And I remember growing up as a kid, all my neighbors would burn their leaves, and it would the whole fall would just be a billowing smoke fest throughout the whole neighborhood. My favorite ice cream brand. Elvis is asking me. I don't really. I would say Baskin Robbins, but we haven't had a Baskin Robbins in the area for a very long time, except the Dunkin' Donuts slash Baskin Robbins, which I've never gotten ice cream from there. But I will say the one I frequent the most is Cold Stone Creamery. That's when I feel a little bougie and I just got paid. I'd be like, yeah, $7 for some ice cream. When I could buy 2 tubs at Walmart with the same price, yeah, I'll go there. But like that's a place, my favorite place, I guess I'd go. But I saw a new Starry flavor in stores. If you were looking, yes, Zane's Cheerios, yes, I am looking. Yeah, the Blackberry Starry. This is how insane I am. Okay, I had a dream the other day that I was at a gas station and I had a cup. You know, you pull out one of the cups and do the whole deal with the fountain. And I was looking at the soda fountain and I saw Starry Blackberry in there and I was like, oh, I haven't seen that in the bottles at the store, but here it is. I guess I'll do a review from a soda fountain and set up my phone in the parking lot and do that. Like I'm dreaming this while I'm sleeping at night. That's insane. Now, after I saw the Starry Blackberry in my dream, I started seeing all these new flavors of Mountain Dew. And in my dream, I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to be here a while. I got to review all these flavors. I'm going to have to shoot about 7 different videos today. And then I woke up. Today, I was actually at Target and I looked for that Starry flavor. I didn't see it. But here's the deal. I'm not the biggest Blackberry fan, so I'm not too crazy. I'm not sniffing around and looking for it. How much money did I make from the McDonald's series? It depends, because usually, like how CPM is in certain times of the year, it's always different. But I will say this. I made enough money back, at least, to cover the expenses that it cost to buy all the things that I shown in the video. So, the time I spent, research, all that stuff, I pretty much have broke even. So it's not like, oh, I'm a millionaire or something like that. I wish. I know a lot of people, like, especially my friends' dads, they'll ask me, oh, you're doing that YouTube stuff, huh? So what's that like? So every view you get $1, right? I'm like, I wish. Let's just say every 1,000 views I may get $1 or $2 or 50 cents depending on the year. But you know, but it's like, especially food. Hang on a second. My best friend. You know, I've been Googling. I've been Redditing. I've been looking at everything about getting over pneumonia. I started having pneumonia October 11th. And this is just the aftershock. My voice choking up, me coughing. I hope I'm done with this crap by next week, because I got a ton of voiceover work to do. But getting back to some of the old folks that ask you, oh yeah, all right, see. Yeah, Mr. Moneybags, I see you with that 3 million view YouTube video. I guess you're too good to talk to us. And I'm like, I have $150 in my bank account right now. I'm wanting to float that until I get paid next, all right? Don't think I'm some movie star here. But the food reviews and stuff like that, like, most of the time on average, 200 views. Let's just say I get a video where I review something and it's 200 views and then it just dies. You know, usually that's how they go. Like I get a big push the first couple days, and then it dies. And then unless it's like a big trending thing that everybody wants to like see, like the chicken Big Mac or something, I may get 500 views to 1,000 views. I won't break even on any of that stuff. Like, it's usually just money out of my pocket just to make a video. But yeah, the McDonald's, it's made enough money at least to where I've broke even, and I'm like, I don't feel so bad buying this very expensive, you know, thing from the 1960s of McDonald's that I read to take notes on and all that. So, yeah. So I want to get back to the yard work just for a second because it's juicy. All right. I've noticed that I don't like to rake up leaves and get it done in mid-October. You do it at the end of November, like right around this time. All I gotta say is, if you wind up ever owning a home, or you do own a home right now, or you have to do it for your mom or your dad or your uncle, your grandma, your auntie, your girlfriend's mom's house, whatever you gotta do, invest in or know somebody or borrow a leaf blower. Seriously, it's definitely going to help. I borrowed one from my friend Jimmy because I just got tired with the rake, and I don't want to spend 6 hours out there doing a yard job, you know. So I borrowed it from Jimmy, take it over to my house. He lives right down the street, so I just went in his garage, put it on, a little heavy, felt like a proton pack, Ghostbusters style. But I went over back to my house, and man, it made so much of a difference. Like, leaf blowers are a lifesaver, time saver. You're still out there for about an hour if you got a decent sized yard, but man, definitely beats raking, and then you're back hurting the next couple days. So, hang on here, guys. I just want to check the chat, make sure I'm up on everybody's comments. Okay, we are Gucci. We are good to go. So, updates on the channel. We are heading towards the end of November, and we are getting into December. December is going to be a big month. Considering my voice will be back in prime form by then, I hope, there is going to be the update documentary video of the history of Toys R Us. That's going to be out towards the end of the month, the end of the year, in December. And the Wild World of Pepsi video is going to drop, all about Pepsi Max Cool Lemon. So that's going to be definitely be interesting. Oh God, so much stuff. There's going to be some weird stuff, some weird videos. I know there's a certain amount of subscribers out there that have subscribed because of the oddball, bizarre videos that I make. And they come out rarely these days. They used to be more prominent back in the day when I was more... I still am silly, but I was more just not focusing on, like, taking YouTube more seriously. Like, I still joke around and stuff, but, like, I have a lot of funny ASMR videos, and it's not the typical ASMR, hey, I play doctor, let me check up on you. This is more or less my character Chad, and he's checking in a couple to a hotel. He's playing the hotel guy, and it's definitely, it's something I've been thinking about for a very long time, and yeah, I'm gonna do that. It's finally gonna get done in December. I'm gonna put that out, and it's definitely gonna be good. It's gonna be funny, so expect that. And also a documentary. This is gonna be like a cool one, and it's gonna be a little risque, a little crazy, but it's going to be a documentary on the 7 dirty words. So be in for me cussing a lot in there for educational purposes, obviously, for the documentary. So that'll be coming out then. And then you're going to have the usual reviews and just unboxings, video game playthroughs, all that kind of stuff. Which brings me to my next topic. I put out a poll, and I was like, which video game do you want me to play next after South Park? So I put up Cruis'n USA. I put up Nickelodeon Guts for the Super Nintendo, just as kind of like a rib, a little funny joke. But that game will be played. It's kind of cool. And Super Mario 64 and GoldenEye. Now, I just want to check on my YouTube right now. I think GoldenEye was in the lead for the very, very longest time, but that might have changed. What do you have for arcade games? Well, right there is Mortal Kombat 2, but there is also Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 3 in it. So 3 games in one there. Right there, I've got Ninja Turtles, the original arcade game, and also Turtles in Time, which is another arcade game. And 4 people could play on that, which was awesome. Trying to get 4 grown men around that thing, though, it's kind of hard to do because it is smaller than the big average original size one. Man, getting on my laptop, OneDrive is a total ball of shit. I hate OneDrive so much. If you ever had to deal with OneDrive and it just fills up your mail so much. Ugh. I remember playing Mortal Kombat at 7-Eleven. Yeah, I never played the original Mortal Kombat, but I did play Mortal Kombat 2 at an arcade inside of a bowling alley back in the 90s when it first came out. Because I knew about Mortal Kombat from the older kids down the street in my neighborhood. They had it, and they would play. And I remember the one dude that down the street that was playing Mortal Kombat, he was a bit of a prick, and in hindsight. But when you're a little kid and you look up to these bigger kids, like you think they're cool, but in hindsight you think about them like that guy one sucked, and he was a prick. Like why, But that's how it is when you're young and you just want to have anybody, especially someone else in the neighborhood, think you're cool. Let's see here. YouTube Studio. Let's take a look. See who is in the running for the next video game playthrough that I'm doing. Okay. Where are we? That's okay. Here are the standings. Nickelodeon Guts for Super Nintendo got 9% of the vote. Cruis'n USA for Nintendo 64 got 12%. Super Mario 64 got 38%. And a drum roll. GoldenEye 007 got 41%. So, polls are now closed. Gave everybody definitely enough time to vote. Sorry if you guys didn't see the post. But the community posts, I always like to have fun with them and put up polls, sometimes just a funny meme, whatever I feel like. But on this one, I had people vote. 007 will be played next. And, let's see here. I will be using a Game Shark. Now this device, you would place whatever game on top of it, then you put it in the system, and this thing will hack the game and like do all kinds of things. Sometimes it's funky cheat codes that can make you go into places in the game that you couldn't necessarily go to. It could give you invincibility codes, all weapons codes, all levels, whatever. And that's the only way I could really play this game as a kid, because sometimes it would just be too hard. And that's how I'm going to play it in this playthrough video I'm going to do. Just because, I want to enjoy myself. I want to look at everything. I don't want to have to keep worrying about my life bar going down when I'm doing this. Plus, I want to show off all the weapons. And trying to gather up all the weapons as you go through the game. And I'm not trying to be authentic with the playthroughs. I want to enjoy myself, just like I would as a kid. So we will be using the Game Shark when I do play GoldenEye. and it's definitely going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I want to check up on the chat. I know Elvis, he left something here. Have I played Atari? No, I have not. The closest thing I did have to that was, well, I really can't even say that. I played like the Midway Classics or like Atari Classics that were on the it was either the GameCube or something else. My storytime vid was very interesting and different. I will say you are a good storyteller. Thanks, Zane Cheerios. Yeah, if you know me personally, you know I started out writing when I was very young. God, I hate talking about myself. I feel like a pretentious prick, you know? But let's just cut that short and just say, yeah, I started out, I've been writing short stories and a book for a very, very long time. But I think about, you know, I have enough experience where I think through about things, and I need to, you know, lay out a nice foundation and work my way up from there. But thanks, I appreciate it. You know, I wish the story I did tell in that one was fictional. But it was sad to see like a really good friend go down a different route, you know. But that's what happens in life. You know, I think when we're younger, we really hold on to all our friends for dear life. But there comes a time when, especially like your late 20s, early 30s, where you realize friends just fall off, and that's like the natural thing. And what you need to replace that is someone that you could be with the rest of your life, or something. I'm talking about video games or a podcast or a YouTube channel. You know, it could be a lot of things, but that's the natural thing. And some, you know, some friends just, yeah, it is what it is. Let's see. Keep up with the chat here. My favorite Game Boy Nintendo game by Elvis. I just have to say Tetris. I'm pretty basic. You know, I didn't have a Game Boy or any of that until I was about 18. And, you know, by then, the Game Boy was a relic. It was an ancient thing that could be put in the Smithsonian, you know? And so I got that for my 18th birthday along with Tetris. And I think I bought Pokemon Yellow. Or I borrowed it from my brother to play because he was done playing with it. And so here I am, 18 years old, freshly getting a Game Boy finally, and I'm getting into Pokemon. You know, nowadays that's fine, but back then it was kind of like, come on, bro. Come on, you gotta get on with your life. You gotta move out and get out there and do something with yourself. I think about it, man, just like 20 years, so much has changed where gaming is, you're not just some nerd in a basement anymore. Well, a lot of gamers still are, but like it's more accepted as something that, you know, is okay to do in your adulthood, you know. But I think about it now, how I'm feeling a little old because, you know, I hear about kids like all they want is V-Bucks or like Roblox or something. Hank Hill yelling at you for playing Game Boy. What did he call that? No more video games. Video games. No more video games, damn it. Get out there, son. But Dad, yeah, Tetris, pretty basic, but I could play that forever. Right now the song is playing in my head, and yeah, but I think the most time I spent like consecutively playing was Pokemon Yellow on the Game Boy. Man. I tried to get into the later games, but they just added so much more crap to it, where I was just like, I can't keep up with all these Pokemon. Like, I don't even know how many Pokemon there are anymore. Like, let me search that, actually. How many Pokemon are there? There's 1,025 Pokemon now. Back in my day, there was 150 or 151, counting Mew or Mewtwo. I'd love to see that Pokemon rap song where they go through all 125 or 1,025. That song would be at least 20 minutes long, if not more. I have to look up the video I did when I got, I think I put out 1,000 videos. So in order to celebrate me publishing 1,000 videos on this channel, I counted to 1,000. And it took a pretty damn long time. So, that was wild. But anyways, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a big music fan, and I'm a music dude. I've been making music and writing songs and stuff since I was like 14. And, you know, took a long time to put out music and get things going. 1 year sub, by the way. Thank you, dude. I appreciate the support. You have to be a really open-minded person to sub to my channel and stay for even 6 months, definitely a year. Because, like, a lot of people will sub because I'm your favorite type of music. Thanks, Elvis. But a lot of people will sub just from the fact that they see the documentaries, and then they click they'll sub right away, and then they'll click the rest of the videos, the catalog, and see all this different stuff, and I think it turns them off. I know personally sometimes I'll find a YouTube channel that I really like, and then I'll look and I'm like, oh, they're doing videos about this, this, and this, though. But here's the deal. A lot of the different stuff they make, it sucks. But I feel like every video I make, I mean, at least to me, I always make videos I would want to see. So I guess I'm biased, but I always think every video I put out, I try to, like, I go by this rule of always leave the viewer with something new. Like, they learned something new. Like, they didn't waste their time watching me. As opposed to, like, some TikTok thing and, you know, you just have some lady sitting in her car just like, so let me tell you about this, what happened today at work. Okay, so this guy walked in, right? And he sat down at this table, and he kept giving me these weird looks. And so I walked up to him, I said, hey, Buster, why are you giving me these weird looks? I was strong, okay? I was strong. And he looked up to me, and he said, you better scram, or I'll call the cops. Okay, video 2. End of the story. Go to video 2. I'm like, I don't get it. Maybe I'm just getting older, but I know you have to be completely bored and brain dead to give an actual shit about what this woman is doing in her interaction at her boring job as a waitress. And the end, the point of the story at the very end is something so not, it didn't amount to anything that you're just like, what am I doing with my life, you know? Let me catch up with the chat. Hey, chat, what's good? Hey, yo, what's up, chat? Nah, man, I love the diversity of your content, Zane's Cheerios. Thanks, dude. I mean, that's what it's all about. It is Industrial Industries World Radio. That's what I named this channel. Was that a good idea? Probably not. But that's what it is now. And it's a radio show, podcast, YouTube channel. So it's designed to be as if you are watching an actual TV channel. You got the news, you got some sitcoms, you got maybe a music program, you got this. You know, that's how I designed this in the first place. And the podcast as well. You listen to the podcast, it sounds like you're just listening to a radio station. And you know, I have background in radio, so it's like that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make a radio show that was something I always wanted to do, but that I couldn't do when I was on actual radio and I was a DJ. I was like a robot when I was actually in working at a radio station. Like they had this book put in the radio station, this booth, and it had lines of things that you can say that's mandated and safe to say. And if you veer off of that and try to be just a little bit funny, like even family friendly funny, you'll get boom, you get called into the office. Hey, what happened during this break? Why did you say that? You know, why did you make that funny voice? Oh, I don't know, maybe because I don't want to feel like a robot and be void of life, and not, you know, try not to convince myself that I made the mistake of going into broadcasting school in the first place. You know, but that's another video I could definitely dig right into. So we've hit on some points here. If you're raking leaves, get a leaf blower. Music. That's what I was going into. I started recording music when I was 14, but it was funny stuff. Very very funny stuff. Stuff that you would think a Midwestern teenage boy would think about and write songs about. Not about some girl. Ooh, girl broke up. You cheated on me. Which is so many bands that were in my high school. Like I was in a high school with a bunch of other guys that were in different bands, and I listened to their music, and I was like trying to be very very serious. It's like you're 16 years old. You don't have that much life experience to be that deep. I'm sorry, but that's not how it works. You know, when you're 14 years old, you just want to write songs about hot chicks and stuff. But yeah, so started out like that, was in a couple bands and stuff, and I got into audio production and music production hardcore when I downloaded Reason into my computer, which is a music software, which made things so much easier to record instead of you get me having an 8-track recorder, hitting record, playing guitar for 3 minutes, stopping, going, hit record, play drums for the 3 minutes over the guitar that I just recorded, stopping, then, oh my God, it was so hard, time consuming. But then when you get Reason and work with stuff that normal people, normal musicians produce in, like I'm just banging out songs left and right and stuff. Have music out under the name Glowing Ice. The music really didn't do anything though. Like it didn't get any traction because I just put the music out there and let it do its thing, which letting it do its thing basically means it just dies. Nothing happened. You gotta advertise yourself. And I didn't feel like I wanted to be a salesman for myself, which I guess if you're gonna be in that business, you kind of have to. But I felt kind of fake doing it. Like I didn't want to annoy people saying, "Hey, listen to my music. Hey, listen to my music." So I just felt like, hey, if you come across my music and you like it, awesome. But that's why the music flopped, because I know the music was good. I spent enough time at it and I enjoyed it and it sounds great. Anybody that's ever listened to it hasn't really said anything bad about it. So maybe they're being nice, but what are my thoughts on AI music? When it first came out, a lot of people were saying, oh, yeah. I had a friend actually send me some AI music and an article about it, and he was like, yeah, you're going to lose so much money. I'm like, so much money? Oh, the $43 from the last album I made? Yeah, I'm going to lose so much money from AI music taking over. But here's the deal. AI music had this thing where, oh yeah, when it first came out, oh yeah, this is going to be the next big thing. And I find AI music funny. I've toyed with it a little bit, like, oh, make this sound metal, but it's singing about poop or something like that, and it just makes this stuff. But at the end of the day, it's AI music is made for, I think, jokes. You know, joke music, haha, it's funny. There's this one channel on YouTube called Obscurest Vinyl, and it's AI music, but it's really funny. Some of it's really really good. So I like that channel at least. There isn't anything else that has stood out as far as AI music that I really do like besides what Obscurest Vinyl puts out, but they are definitely up there with some good stuff. But I don't see AI music or anything taking over or whatever. It's kind of like people will still appreciate actual human interaction with things. And the future is crazy, you know, and it is going to be out there. It's still going to be there, but I don't think it's like, you know, Rise of the Machines or the Terminator all taking over and they're just gonna, you know, take over the planet. Like, could you imagine AI running its own award show? Like, and the best, you know, whatever. Like, that'd be crazy. From the robots to everything. It couldn't happen, but yeah, AI music, I enjoy it. It's fun for joke music, but if you're gonna get anything out of it besides that, you're gonna feel like you're listening to, I don't know, Taylor Swift. No, I don't know. But anyways, we went over the channel updates. By the end of this year, I'm gonna have a few mini documentaries out. I've started researching and reading a lot about KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's going to be the next big documentary. And I've been talking about doing it for a while, but I've really sunken my teeth into AI, Kanye taking award from Taylor Swift AI. That'd be awesome. Yeah. AI will definitely be good for some comedy. That's for sure. But yeah, the KFC documentary, it's in its early stages. I'm laying the seeds of just researching, reading up about Harlan Sanders. And I think I may put out a side, like, little mini documentary about KFC, like one offshoot that they did, which is very interesting. And I have some relics, actual relics from it. So that will be fun. And oh, there's one more thing. This is what I was going to work on before I got pneumonia in October and my voice just went to hell. I want to make sure my voice is in proper form for me to do this. But I have like the 10 most nostalgia snacks. I know, pretty basic. There's so many videos about it, but not like how I do it, okay? Damn it. And so I contacted a guy that has really dug deep and got all these things about the Ninja Turtle pie. And he was so cool. I asked him, I was like, can I use some of the footage and stuff? Because I don't want to like screenshot people's photos that they have and just throw it up in my videos. Because I know a lot of people have done that. People have done that to my videos. Like, I'll be watching a video about Mountain Dew, and then all of a sudden I'll see a clip from me drinking Mountain Dew in the video. And my channel isn't cited. I'm not thanked in the credits or anything. I'm like, hey, that was me. I can't get mad about it because it's fair use. And I really don't get mad about it, but it's just kind of like proper etiquette to ask the person if you're going to use their stuff nicely. And from my experience, I've only done that a few times, but asking people, just saying, hey, really love your stuff. I'm doing a video on this. Can I use this? And more than likely, people are like, hell yeah, go ahead, dude. And that's how I am with me, too. Like, if anybody ever asks me they want to use some of my stuff, you know, go right ahead. Just, you know, put me in the credits somewhere or shout out or whatever. But, so I talked to one guy about the Ninja Turtle pies. He's done so much research on it, and it's just nuts. So I'll be talking about that in the video. and a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, I had the script written, ready to go. I have things that I'm gonna shoot. Um, Dunkaroos. Get some nice close-up shots of these old snacks and stuff. And then I just had to get sick, and so I'm recouping from that. And that's the first project I want to get done as soon as my voice gets back. Hopefully by next week. So we shall see. I've got so many sodas I need to review. So many great old school Pepsi stuff. Like, I got a can of Crystal Pepsi from 1993 that my buddy Maximus the Fourth, Brandon, has sent me. I'm going to drink that at some point. I want to make sure my body's healthy enough for that. And, yeah, we'll see from there. Hopefully I don't do a whole LA Beast thing and I puke like crazy. But I don't know if I'll chug the whole thing. Maybe I'll just do a little taste test like it's a fine wine or something. But, yeah, so there we go. Oof. That felt good. Get it off my chest. Hope you guys had fun. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not saying anything. Don't worry. We are getting into the final thing here. Damn it, Bobby. Do I collect sports cards? I'll take a swig of this and I will tell you. No, I do not. But my dad does. My dad is what got me into collecting in the first place. He would take me to baseball card shows all the time as a kid. But I never was interested in baseball cards. At these card shows, there would always be a little table off to the right where there'd be some toys, like old school Star Wars or whatever. And I would just be fascinated by that, and I would look at that. That's what got me into toy collecting, and that's what wound up me collecting this monstrous amount of cans, which you should just crush and take to the recycling plant so you can get 25 cents worth of aluminum for it. But yeah, actually, a lot of these cans I've spent too much money on. It's embarrassing. But yeah, it's rare, and that's what happens when you get that collecting bug. You want to get every single thing that was ever out there and released. And I mean, I started collecting soda basically because I was going to do a documentary on Pepsi, which I will still, but if I had to pick what's my favorite soda, I will answer in a second. But I started collecting all this Pepsi stuff because I needed things to show in the videos, and like go through the whole history of Pepsi, every single release of every single flavor worldwide. And it's been a slippery slope where I was just like, okay, I'll buy Crystal Pepsi. I'll buy a bottle of Pepsi Blue. That's the basic stuff. And then you get into wild releases that were in Japan for only a couple months, and you need that bottle. So you hunt that down on eBay for about 3 years, and you finally find it. And yeah, and it just tumbled into a snowball. Here I am. And at one point in my life, that Pepsi documentary will be out. Chances are, through me working on it, they're going to release more flavors, and I'll just have to, at some point, cut it off and be like, all right, the release is up until this point. This is what we have. This is what I'll talk to you about. So, let me just catch up with the chat, y'all. Yo. Hopefully you guys are having a great night, and if you're at work, sorry to hear that. But, hopefully the weekend will serve you better. But, yeah. Elvis' favorite was Pepsi. Yeah, my favorite soda is Crystal Pepsi. I mean, without a doubt. I will show you. Let's see here if I could lift up my camera. Like, there we go right there. It's like, that's an actual banner that they had in the stores back in the 90s. Where are we? Do you have the LA Beast bottle, Crystal Pepsi? Yes, I do. Hang on a second. You're going to see my lovely PJ shorts here. So here we go. This is the LA Beast limited edition Crystal Pepsi. There were only 60 of these made in existence, and they were all gifted to LA Beast. Now, how I wound up with this is, by luck, I wound up seeing him put up a listing on eBay. He put up 2 bottles of these to sell. The first one went off for like 320 bucks. And I knew better not to bid on that one, but I bid on this one and got it for a lot cheaper. Not as cheap. It was still around 280 bucks, but still. You know, when, you know, the mighty LA Beast puts something up on eBay, and you know there's only 60 of them made, you bet that, you know, I'm going to have to get it so I could have every single Crystal Pepsi release. Even this rare-ass Pepsi. But, yeah, there you go. The bottle is sucked in a little bit, you know, just from time and everything. But I could tell you the label is a lot more, it's stronger than your average label. It kind of feels like it's bubbly here and there, but it's custom made. So I'll show you up close and personal. Hopefully it doesn't focus on here so well, but there you go. I'll set that off to the side for now. But yeah, Crystal Pepsi is my favorite, and it's a shame that they haven't released like the OG from way back in the 90s, because you know, the re-releases from 2015 on up have caffeine in them, and it doesn't taste the same. As much as people will say, oh, that's a blast, man, that tastes like the 90s. No, it doesn't. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to your viewers. Would I say that I have the largest Crystal Pepsi collection? Well, as far as variety, I would definitely say that, yes, I do. And I have some things. I have another Crystal Pepsi thing that it's as rare as the LA Beast bottles, but I think even rarer. I'll show you what I mean. It's in my closet. I'm going to do a video on the Crystal Pepsi collection very soon. That was another video I have planned for December. December's going to be packed, brothers and sisters. So, but I want to show it to you so bad. Hang on a second. Damn it. It's under a bunch of crap. I'll have to dig it out. But anyways, what I have, I'll explain it. I've shown it in videos a long time ago, but I haven't shown it in a while. It's Crystal Pepsi. Came out in 1992. 1993 got discontinued. Then in 1994 they put out Crystal from the makers of Pepsi, which was Crystal Pepsi with a citrus taste added to it. And that only lasted for about 6 months. And what I have is bottles and cans of just that soda when it was released nationally is hard to find as it is. But I have a mailer, a box, that has a 6-pack of it and a booklet that is only sent to managers of Pepsi to set up like displays and stuff like that. And it's an early thing. It was an early bird release before it actually went national. And the cans on these have a different labeling than the national release. And I've never seen anybody ever have this before. And I'll tell you what the difference is. So, okay, here's a bottle of Crystal from the makers of Pepsi, okay? And the difference is from those test cans that I got, it says new citrus cola taste, but the national release has this new citrus taste. They cut the cola out, and I've never seen anybody else have those cans except me. So that's yet another variation that if you didn't know it existed, if you never seen it before, you won't be able to find it on Google or search for it anywhere. So I will say, yes, I do have the largest Crystal Pepsi collection in terms of variety. Now, anybody could just go and buy a shitload of empty Crystal Pepsi cans, but, you know, and say, oh, I have the largest this or whatever, but trying to hunt down, like, such rare crap like that, you're not going to be able to, like I have. I mean, not to be full of myself, am I proud of myself? I would say yeah, because I set out on a goal, and I accomplished the goal, but I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, I'm better than you, blah, 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 because, you know, it's just about patience and, you know, looking on eBay and Facebook Marketplace enough. That's how I found the rare, like, Crystal from the makers of Pepsi cans. I was on Facebook Marketplace, and the dude that was selling it was the actual guy from Pepsi that got the mailer. So, like, I'm the second owner from the actual source. And, yeah, so, pretty cool stuff. Let me check the chat, everybody. You have old Zima? That's awesome, dude. I was actually looking that up the other day. Someone talked about it on a podcast, and I was like, oh, let me search for that. I think they brought it back for a little bit, but yeah. I'm going to finish this off. And then I want to get to this final thing of Kid Rock albums. The very first Kid Rock albums. I don't know how you feel about Kid Rock, but, you know, there's all the memes about Kid Rock is like, you know, trashy, blah, blah, blah. But in the 90s, the late 90s, you had Limp Bizkit, you had Slipknot, you had, like, all the explosion of new metal in general. A lot of it was copycat trash, but there was a lot of good stuff in there. But Kid Rock was in that mix as well. And, you know, he put out some bangers in the late 90s. And you got to give him credit for that. Now I'm not a fan. Let's just say that. All the country stuff, no thank you. You could take that and throw it in the trash. And I don't like how he disses rap when that was the thing that he started out with in the first place. And that's what I really liked listening to, like even in high school. Kid Rock's first album was the best. Yeah, this one, Grit Sandwiches for Breakfast. This came out in 1990, I think. And the tracks on here, Yodelin' in the Valley, you could kind of understand what he's talking about there. Genuine Art. There was so many bangers on this thing. New York's Not My Home. So I could tell you about Kid Rock a little bit. He's from Detroit, and he rubbed elbows with Eminem way back in the day, before Eminem was big or anything. Insane Clown Posse. Like, all of them at that time were in Detroit, and they were just hustling to get their music out and stuff. Kid Rock, I think, had a jump start because he was seen as basically a Vanilla Ice, clone. So that's what Kid Rock looked like back in 1990. But, yeah, he went on tour with Ice Cube, Yo-Yo, a lot of rappers back in the day with this album in promotion. And, yeah, it was really good. It's just straight up old school hip-hop and rap. Like, I could think of, like, all of the old ladies that heard Kid Rock's song Picture with Sheryl Crow. They would see this album and think, oh, Kid Rock, I like Kid Rock. I like that Picture song he did. I'm going to pop this in. They pop this in and hear Pimp of the Nation or Wax the Booty. and definitely turn them off. I don't like that Kid Rock anymore. But a funny story about one of the songs in here is Pimp of the Nation. He mentions in there a very, very naughty line about Barbara Bush. And when George W. Bush, was getting into office in the 2000s, he was invited to perform at the inauguration or one of those things. But thing is, they found out about his early stuff from this album and read that line about Barbara Bush. And sad to say, he wasn't playing at the inauguration anymore. Oh no. So, Kid Rock's like, no, I'm sure he was like, I'm country now, it's okay, I can do it. Nope, we've heard Pimp of the Nation, Kid Rock. Sorry about that. Ugh, excuse me. So, yeah. Kid Rock, Grit Sandwiches for Breakfast. Great album, amazing album. Love it. We're moving on. So, when he got signed to release this album, Jive Records, I think that's what it was. It was Jive Records signed him. He was very young. And I guess the album didn't sell that well. I think because of a lot of explicit lyrics. Unlike Vanilla Ice was pretty clean cut. So he got dropped from his label, and his next album, which the next couple albums actually are very rare because they're independent releases. So like a copy of this, his second album, The Polyfuse Method, like you go on eBay and $80, $100 for this CD or more, depending on the condition and all that. So this came out on Continuum Records, which was a very, very small record company. And this had a lot of great songs on it as well. So, I don't know. This CD's so confusing on how do I open this. There we go. So, there is Kid Rock right there. And, yeah. CD is very, very weird. It's like a centerfold or something. Then we got the booklet here. Kid Rock. All this stuff. But, what just fell? What was that? So, yeah, there was a lot of great songs on this one, too. One of my favorites is Balls in Your Mouth. That's one of the best ones on there. He actually played that live at Woodstock 99. And there's a sample of Howard Stern on there. Why did it take so long for me to say his name? Howard Stern on there as well. But this came out in 1993, and it's produced by Kid Rock, D Square, and Mikey Clark. I ain't never seen it because, I didn't know about it until I heard Balls in Your Mouth, and I was like, what album is that on? Back in the day, you just had LimeWire, so you just downloaded select songs from the album, but I had to hunt this down pretty hard to get it. But yeah, much like this album, I think Mikey Clark did some production on here too. And if you don't know, Mikey Clark wound up producing, he was like the sole producer for Insane Clown Posse throughout the entire 90s pretty much. And so, yeah, he also worked with Kid Rock. And that's how Kid Rock wound up on Insane Clown Posse's first big album, the first Joker card, Carnival of Carnage. He's featured on Is That You, the song Is That You. So, Kid Rock Polyfuse Method came out in 1993. And then his next release, which you may know the song itself, Early Morning Stoned Pimp. Now, you take a look at this cover. It looks very, very independent release, because it is, basically. You open it up here, this is what it looks like. And I think this is so old school. Like, I got this from the very first owner of this CD, because when I open it up here, it still has a paper insert on, you know, information on getting into Kid Rock's newsletter and mailing list and all that stuff. And yeah, they kind of made a, whoever was cutting these up and putting them in the CDs, they're a little off center a bit, but there is the inside of that album right there. But there is a lot of songs on here that you will hear on the American Badass album. So there you go, 1996, this one came out. And I need to do a video on this. Yes, I will very soon. I'll go even deeper. But yeah, the next one is an EP. And this is Fire It Up. And this has the big song I Am the Bull God on it, which wound up being on his big major album debut. And that's when I first heard it as a kid. I was like in the 6th grade. I heard that song and it blew me away. I was like, God, the way that guy talks, the way he sings, the way he raps, I'm like, that guy's cool. So, yeah, on here, also, Country Boy Can't Survive. It's a cover, and Mike Clark actually pushed Kid Rock to sing that. He was like, you got a good singing voice. Instead of just rapping, go in the booth and try to, like, sing this country thing. So, that was basically the beginning of the end. You know, it took a few years, but, you know, he wound up becoming country over time. But yeah, this was just an EP. Contains some songs from the Polyfuse method. And here's the cassette release of it, which contains different songs, different track listing and everything. I also own the 7-inch vinyl EP of it too. So it came out on cassette, CD, and vinyl. The cassette is pretty hard to find, so is the vinyl. But the CD version is the hardest to find. It was the hardest to track down. But this came out, so let me see. There isn't a date on it, but I want to say 1996. Oh, I got this wrong. How? All right. I think I just put these in a pile. So, here's the deal, everybody. This came first. This came second. And then Kid Rock EP Fire It Up came out third in 1993. Then Early Morning Stone Pimp in 1996. After that, with I Am the Bull God and some of the songs on this, and a few demos of Wasting Time. Wasting Time was on the demo that I think got him signed, or one of the songs like that. He wound up putting out this masterpiece of an album. Now, every single song on this thing is perfect. It's front to back, like every song on here. Eminem is on here. Raps a very, very great verse. Yes, I Am the Bull God, Ba With a Ba, Cowboy, Devil Without a Cause, Welcome to the Party, Fist of Rage, Only God Knows Why, Black Chick, White Guy. Like, so many great songs on this thing. Like, masterpiece. This came out, let's see. God, 1998, it looks like. Yeah, 1998. So there's that. And then the final album that he put out that was great until it all went to country and it was like, bleh, is this one. The History of Rock. I could play the whole album. Yeah, front to back, it's great. There's not one song you want to skip on this thing right here. Like, there's always some every album, there's always that one song or two. I'm like, psh, psh, psh. But this one, I can put it on, hit track 1, and let it ride the whole time and enjoy every song on it. But this one right here, this album, History of Rock, it has a lot of like old songs from the albums that were like non-existent, Polyfuse Method and Early Morning Stone Pimp, and they're like redone. And there's also some demos that he didn't release up until then, like Born to Be a Hick and some other ones. American Badass was a new song, and I remember hearing that all the time on the radio. That one was awesome. Sampled Metallica. Yeah, but this was the last one before it all went to, and it came out in 2000. So, you know, he had a decent catalog up until then. And then Cocky was the next album. That's when he had Pamela Anderson. Elvis talked about that. Pamela Anderson was with them and all that, and it was just like, I don't know. Not because he was with Pamela Anderson. It was just like, I don't know. Something happened, and I don't know if it was the fame or what, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's your nice little rundown of all the Kid Rock stuff. If you ever wanted to know, there you go. But I will do a video on that eventually. I want to make a very nice presentation about it, because that's why I hunted down all this stuff, to do a decent video on it. But yeah, anyways, we are at 72 minutes almost. That's crazy. Thank you guys for watching. This is the end. If you've hung out this long, I appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing and just always checking in with me. I need that. I enjoy that. And check up on me. And I'm doing good so far. I need some water. My throat is a little raspy. Oh, that felt so good. Anyways, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And who knows, I may be going live more often. I try to do it once a month. Sometimes that doesn't happen. Well, we'll try to get into a habit. Anyways, it's far into, what time is it? It's 12:38 here in the Midwest. Wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day, great night. And yeah, that's it. Tomorrow, what video will I be doing? I'll probably do a review, but I'll also start doing the playthrough of GoldenEye. So look out for that. Hopefully I'll get it done by tomorrow, and it'll be out tomorrow. But definitely Sunday. So that's what you have to look forward to here. I'm DJ Glowing Ice. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your night, or morning, or afternoon, or whatever. All right. See you guys. Peace.